Oh yes, today viewers, OldClassicGamer here, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Croc and what is happening with him, because there's some recent news finally for the franchise. We haven't had a proper news since 2005 basically, so right now it's time to check out what's happening. So basically the original developers of Croc are making an Android and iOS game called Storybox, and it's supposed to be like cooperative platform for children, parents, teachers, that they can create some fun 3D interactive learning experiences. Now, I respect these kind of games. I don't automatically hate them. They're not my type, but I have a respect for them, and since this is getting developed by the Croc developers, of course, I'm gonna support this game. So if you go on their website, which I'm gonna be leaving in the description, we can see, like, if you donate and help the project, you can see all the rewards. And what's interesting is that level 6 backers are gonna be getting A4 framed original signed Croc concept art. So you can clearly see that these guys haven't forgotten about Croc, who he is. They still care for him after all these years. And yeah, so let me give you just a brief little history of Croc. So Croc was a franchise that was originally planned to be a Yoshi game, but after Nintendo didn't wanna publish the game, the Argonaut Studios, the developers, they had to redesign the characters and stuff so they wouldn't be infringing Nintendo's characters. So that's how Croc was created, and honestly, in my opinion, I think it was for the best, because I don't know, just imagining a Croc game with a Yoshi, it just doesn't fit, especially the worlds, because I have the idea that the only thing that really got changed was the characters, and that the worlds were more or less same in the pitch they presented to Nintendo originally. So yeah, I don't think Nintendo characters would fit very well in Croc. I don't know, just it just seems out of place for me. Maybe it's just because I'm used to Croc right now, but I don't know. Either way, in 2004, Argonaut Studios went bankrupt, and what happened with Croc's rights was never fully explained. There are multiple theories what happened, and I don't know which one to believe the most, because I don't know, it's just there are too many unanswered questions. But there are two possibilities what happened. The first possibility is that the Jazz San, the creator of Croc, one of the lead programmers in Argonaut Studios, that he also worked on a Super Nintendo chip for Star Fox, by the way. It's very possible that he purchased Croc rights for himself. But some people suggest that ZeniMax Media, that they got rights for Croc. Well, I don't know what the case is, who got the rights, but what I do know is that after Argonaut Studios went bankrupt, 2 more mobile games for Croc were created by some developer studio. I can't really remember the name right now. It's some Morphome, or however you pronounce it. Sorry, just don't have the spelling in front of me of the company. But yeah, they developed some mobile games, and after those mobile games, we really didn't hear about Croc for 2005 was when the game was developed for phone by them. And I don't know, did Croc maybe become public domain? I don't know how they got rights to develop those games. They maybe asked Jazz or ZeniMax, depending who owned them. But yeah, after that, nobody really talked about Croc, and he was just forgotten. Probably the mobile games haven't sell like they expected to sell, so nothing really happened with him. And now, after 2005, after almost 10 years without news about Croc, we finally have some hope, because on Facebook page, the developers, they posted they are definitely interested, and that they were trying to see who owns the IP but if they get a chance, there's a good possibility that Croc, his friends and enemies will be featured in the game story box, either in initial release or as a downloadable story pack. Now, in my opinion, I definitely support this idea because Croc needs return, and who knows? Right now, I contacted the developers and talked with them a little bit about this whole situation. So, what happened? They still need to find out about the legal stuff and license. They need to see more details. Who owns Croc and what is happening. So what happened? They contacted Jazz. They're waiting response. I contacted Zenimax Media, also waiting response to see what is gonna be. What are they gonna say if some of them owns the rights? If none of them say anything like that they own the rights, they say they don't or something, then I suppose they have full rights to put the Croc in the game without infringing anything. And also, we need to remember, for example, we all know this article about Activision and Crash. So what is written is that if Activision doesn't do anything until 2021 with a Crash, that they're gonna lose license. That's exactly what happened with Sega and Shenmue in US. So right now, no Shenmue games can be published by Sega in US because Sega failed to present a proof that they did something with a franchise. So yeah, maybe perhaps canceling Shenmue Online wasn't that good of an idea after all. But either way, it just it can happen. The company can lose rights if they don't use them. So either way, even if somebody does own Croc right now, in like a year or two, the rights are definitely gonna be lost, mainly because the last game was in 2005. 2015 will be exactly 10 years without Croc's new games. So Activision renewed the Crash license in 2011, and 2021 would be 10 years. So that's saying something. So next year probably Croc rights will expire if nobody uses him in anything. We just have to wait and see. So what does this mean? These are some definitely positive news, because I honestly doubt that somebody would just go and try to stop the original creators of using something as Croc in the game. Like, it's not even a Croc game itself, it's just including characters of Croc. But later, of course, if it sells well, there is of course a big chance that they're gonna create maybe HD remakes on Kickstarter. Like, yeah, it'll be a great idea. But yeah, anyways, I really doubt that some studio, even if somebody does own Croc right now as this video is being made, I doubt that they're gonna say no, you can't do anything with it. I would understand if Croc was some super profitable franchise that made like 15 million sales, and that some companies then questioning it. But if that was the case, Croc would be making new games. Like, I honestly see no point of keeping the license and not doing anything with it. Like, especially if it's the near end. So why would they deny it? I don't know. But yeah, it happens with some companies. Like Activision is an example. They don't do anything with Crash, but who knows, maybe they have something planned, like marketing values. Like, maybe they're probably gonna release because I think they do acknowledge that Crash is a franchise that makes a lot of money. But the difference with Croc is Croc never made that big amount of money, unlike Crash, who like made millions. So that's the main difference. Come on, even Square Enix, who owns rights to Gex franchise right now, they stated on the website that developers will have the chance if they want to work on the games. So if somebody wants to make a Gex game and they want to join Square Enix and stuff, they will have a chance. It's written on their official website, I'm not making it up. So either way, about Croc, just support Storybox. I'm gonna put the link in the description so you can check it out, because yeah, just like the Facebook page, leave some comment, say that you are a fan of Croc, and perhaps that is going to make more likely that they're gonna do something. And yeah, so right now I'm gonna await response of ZeniMax Media, if they're gonna say yes or no, if they own Croc or not. If they don't answer anything, then it's gonna be pretty difficult, because that's neither yes or no, so somebody else is gonna have to contact them by other means. We're also gonna be waiting what is Jazz gonna say about. But if you remember my Amistar video promotion, you're gonna see that one guy who is at Amistar Games, he sent a message to Jazz, and it did look like from the email that Jazz is the one who owns Croc right now, but then again, I want to be 100% sure, so that's why we're contacting both. And yeah, so let's hope for the best. Let's hope that Croc is gonna return soon. It's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I hope he does return, and just remember to show some support, donate a little bit of money for this project. Just write something nice on their Facebook that you're a fan of Croc, because we as a Croc fans, we need to be recognized online, because right now, after Croc became irrelevant, there have been Croc forums. They existed, but every Croc forum ever is now closed, so we need somehow to make sure that our voice gets heard. So that's why we need to tell them on Facebook we're fans of franchise, so they see that there's still some audience for Croc. And also, I hope they launch a Kickstarter for Croc HD Remastered. That would be a great idea. So let's hope for the best, and I really hope something positive happens with Croc. So see you guys later. Ciao, matane.